The emergence of Lagos, Nigeria as a mega city may have left investors in the real estate sector smiling to the bank, but the growth that this sector has witnessed has not come without challenges. Across the most populated city in Africa, you will find a mix of residential, business, and other spaces. With a population of about 15 million, Lagos is one of the world's first 20th largest cities. There is an acute housing deficit of 2.5 million, which according to the National Bureau of Statistics accounts for about 14.7% of Nigeria's housing deficit, estimated at 17 million. Reports reveal that between 2005 and 2006, 115 buildings, mostly residential, collapsed in Lagos. These collapses left about 4,000 families homeless and traumatized. The incessant collapse of buildings has become a subject of concern, not just to those interested in occupying buildings across Lagos, but also to investors, policymakers, and professional bodies established to ensure standards. This is The Fuss. With the growing rate of urbanization, Nigeria has unfortunately seen several buildings across the country come crashing down, leading to the loss of life, injuries, and raising questions about quality control and standards. Just a few months ago, the president of the Building Collapse Prevention Guild said that there were over 1,000 buildings alone in Lagos Island unfit for human habitation. He put the number at 36,000 potential collapsed buildings that were waiting to happen across Lagos. Although the state government has demolished several distressed buildings in the past 1 year, this hazard is still a clear and present danger. The massive urbanization in Lagos means that supply is not meeting demand as buyers and renters rush for properties across the city. Experts have said that the increasing rate of collapsed buildings could be traced to the use of substandard materials and inadequate checks by the necessary agencies. The recent collapse of a 21-story building in the highbrow Ikoyi area of Lagos has renewed the debate on the issue of standards and quality control. So what could be responsible for the collapse of such a massive structure?
When you look at the soil texture of Lagos as well as the terrain of Lagos State, one should know that the area is somehow, the soil is porous. And the porosity of the soil entails that before any construction work could be actually commence in Lagos, there is every need for a serious soil evaluation in order to check, especially when you have a certain design, to know whether the texture of the soil as well as the porosity of it will enable such high-rising structure to be erected in such area.
This is very clear. If you look at this incident, though we've not started investigation, but looking at the way the rubble were formed is enough for us to say there's an aspect of poor quality of material usage, that the material that is used is of poor quality. You see it from the rubble that we see. And then if you look at such a structure and it collapsed just like that, it is very clear to note that the design of that place by the structural engineer, it is either it is not being followed, because one thing about our developer nowadays is the economic interest more than the safety aspect of this particular building.
One question that has been ringing out since the collapse is who should bear the blame. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, after some investigations, has ordered the suspension of the general manager of the Lagos State Building Control Agency, Gbolahan Oki. And here's what we know so far. The governor has ordered a 5-man panel to be set up to investigate the cause of the crash. It will report in 30 days. The structure was approved for 15 stories. However, it is reported that it was 21 stories when it crashed down. Rescue operations are still ongoing. Unfortunately, there is no manifest for workers who may have been at the site at the time of the collapse. Barely 24 hours after the building collapsed in Ikoyi, another building collapsed in the Osakpa, London area of Lagos State. What lessons can be learned from this that can save lives and property in the future? If there are quality control and standard issues, who is responsible for monitoring the state of buildings in Lagos? What are the penalties for the offenders? Give us your take on the situation. You can share your perspective with us using the hashtag #NCTheFuss. And don't forget to point us in the direction of a story or an issue that you think the fuss should take on. Bye for now.